Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list. Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. One of the important things to consider is how are the dasha systems related to the nakshatras, and do the nakshatra energies play any part in how the dasha plays out and what the results of the dasha are on. Come here, come. See, so here is Ewok, as usual, wanting to say her highs and whatever, and wants to maybe chew up my fingers as well. Okay, so back to business. So how does the nakshatra energies play the effect on the dasha? Now, one of the important things that we already know of is that the nakshatra lord, the nakshatra that moon is placed in at the time of her birth, its lord is the first dasha that we start off our lives with. So if you are born in, for example, in the Ketu dasha, the Ketu dasha is followed by the Venus dasha, and then followed by the Sun dasha, then the Moon dasha, and so on. So what is the pattern that is followed? The pattern that is followed is nothing but, if you are born in a certain dasha, the nakshatra lord's dasha is the first dasha, we know. The dasha which follows, the next dasha which follows, is the dasha of the lord of the next nakshatra. So for example, if you are born in the sign of Pisces, say between the 4 degrees and 13th degree, then if you are born in the sign of Pisces between the 4 and the 13th degree, then you are born in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada ruled by Saturn. And so, what is the next nakshatra which follows the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra? The next nakshatra after the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra is the nakshatra of Revati. Which planet rules Revati? The planet Mercury rules Revati. So, which means the dasha after the Saturn dasha, because you are born in the nakshatra ruled by Saturn, that dasha is then followed by the dasha of that planet which rules the next nakshatra, which is Revati, which is ruled by Mercury. And then what is the dasha of the planet, or which is the nakshatra after Revati? The nakshatra after Revati is Ashwini. Ashwini is ruled by Ketu. So then the dasha after Saturn dasha is Mercury, after Mercury's dasha is Ketu's dasha. Then which is the nakshatra which comes after Ashwini? Bharani nakshatra. Which lord rules Bharani? Venus. So the dasha after Ketu is the Venus dasha. Which is the nakshatra which comes after Bharani? It is the Kritika nakshatra. Which planet rules the Kritika nakshatra? Sun. So the dasha after the Venus dasha is the Sun. Which is the nakshatra which comes after the Kritika nakshatra? It is the nakshatra of Rohini, ruled by Moon. So the dasha after Sun comes the dasha of Moon, and so on. So if the dasha is following the pattern of the nakshatras one after the other and the nakshatra lord, which means obviously that the energy of the nakshatra also should play upon the dasha, which means if you are born in the sign of Pisces between the 4th and the 13th degree in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada, then obviously you are in the dasha of Saturn, because Saturn rules Uttara Bhadrapada, but Saturn doesn't rule only Uttara Bhadrapada. Saturn also rules Pushya and Anuradha, which means that the nakshatra that you are born in, whose lord is Saturn, will obviously have the Saturn dasha, but the energies of Uttara Bhadrapada, if your moon is in the sign of Pisces at the time of your birth, Uttara Bhadrapada energies will definitely play out. But if you are born with a moon in, for example, in Pushya, which is also ruled by Saturn, so now the Saturn dasha will definitely be on, but the Pushya nakshatra energies will play their part. So in the first instance where moon was in the sign of Pisces, but in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra ruled by Saturn, and you born in the Saturn dasha, is different from the Saturn dasha which comes when you are born in the nakshatra of Pushya, which is also ruled by Saturn. Pushya lies in the sign of Cancer. So some of the sign energies of Pisces, if you are born in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, will be will play their part, and the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada will play its part during that Saturn Dasha. And on the contrary, if you are born with moon in the Pushya Nakshatra in the sign which is in the sign of Cancer, then obviously you will start with again with the Saturn Dasha, but this time some of the Cancer energies and the Pushya Nakshatra energies will play their part, and that is a crucial difference between one Saturn Dasha and the other Saturn Dasha. And so if your moon sign is Uttara Bhadrapada, or your moon is in the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada when you are born, and Saturn Dasha starts, and then the Dasha after that is the Dasha of Mercury, because Mercury rules the next nakshatra, which is Revati. So when the Mercury Dasha starts, the Revati nakshatra energies will also play their part, and some of the Pisces energies will also play their part. And this is important to note. One Saturn Dasha is not the same as the other Saturn Dasha, or all the three Saturn Dashas. Or let me put it this way: the Saturn Dasha, if your moon is in Uttara Bhadrapada, is different from the Saturn Dasha when your moon is in the Pushya Nakshatra at the time of your birth, and is different from the Dasha of Saturn if you are born with the moon in the Nakshatra of Anuradha. So this difference is important, because this will also play out its part automatically or definitely. The other is the pada of the nakshatra that you are born is also important. For instance, if your moon is in Uttara Bhadrapada, then the first pada is of Leo, the second pada is of Virgo, the third pada is Libra, and then the fourth pada is Scorpio. So accordingly, when you are in the Saturn Dasha, which means that the specific part, the four padas of the nakshatra will play their part, because you are born in that nakshatra. So the nakshatra energies will also play their part. So the first part of your life when you are born, the Leo energies will come to fore. The second part of your life, or within the dasha, this a certain part of the dasha, after that Virgo, after that Libra, and after that Scorpio will follow. How long the Saturn Dasha will be in which you are born, what is the remaining period, will depend on the degrees at which moon lies. So if you are born in the first pada of Uttara Bhadrapada, then Leo energies will play their part. If you are born in the second pada of Uttara Bhadrapada, then Virgo will play the part, which means those specific planetary energies, sun's energies, if you are born in the Leo pada or the first pada, if you are born in the second pada, Mercury energies will play their part. So depending on what dasha you are, you will play it accordingly. So for example, if you are in the dasha of Uttara Bhadrapada when you are say in your 20s, okay, and your Saturn Dasha starts when you are your 20 or 21st year, and then the first pada is Leo, which means leadership energies will play their part. So your life's decision will be around leadership, taking responsibility, taking accountability, taking control of your life, wanting to move forward, and so on. After Saturn Dasha, Mercury's Dasha is on. Now Mercury's Dasha is also long Dasha. Mercury's Dasha is 17 years long. If you divide it into 4 parts each, then each part will be ruled by 4 years and 3 months each. So which pada you are born in is not of relevance, because entire 17 years of Mercury will play out. But which means the first 4 years and 3 months of the Mercury Dasha, the first pada of that particular nakshatra, which is Revati, and the first pada of Revati is the pada of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius energies will play out in the native's life in the first 4 years and 3 months of the Mercury Dasha. Next 4 years and 3 months Capricorn, next 4 years and 3 months Aquarius, and the last 4 years and 3 months Pisces energies. And these will have some effect definitely on the Dasha period, the thinking of the person's mind. Why the thinking? Because Moon is the planet which should be in a certain nakshatra at the time of your birth, which triggers the nakshatra energies and the nakshatra lord, and that's Dasha is on. And hence, when Dasha follows, the thinking pattern of the person will follow the pattern of the nakshatra, which follow the nakshatra in which you are born. So, if you are born in a Saturn nakshatra, say in Uttara Bhadrapada, then Mercury Dasha will obviously come next, but now with the Revati energies. But if you are born in the Dasha of Saturn, but in some other nakshatra ruled by Saturn, for example in Anuradha, with moon in the nakshatra of Anuradha, which means that Saturn Dasha will follow, But now the Anuraja energies will play their part. But after that will be the nakshatra of Mercury. So the dasha of Mercury will automatically follow. But which is the dasha, which is the nakshatra now which comes after Anuraja nakshatra? It is the nakshatra of Jyeshtha, which means now the Jyeshtha energies will play their part. So one has to keep in mind that the nakshatra energies are very, very important. Now what is the four pada of say the Jyeshtha nakshatra? The four padas of Jyeshtha nakshatra start from Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. So those energies, which means now Jyeshtha nakshatra energies and the four padas of Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces will follow. That means that particular lord, if it's Sagittarius energies in the first pada, then Jupiter will get activated also. And if it's the second pada, that after 4 years and 3 months, the next 4 years and 3 months will have the Capricorn energies. So that has to be kept in mind. And so at a very, very fine dissemination of the dasha, the pada energies will also play their part. Now how the final results play out by virtue of which sign your ascendant is, which particular nakshatra moon is, even if it's ruled by the same planet, whether it's, even if the first dasha is the dasha of Saturn, but depending on whether your moon is in Uttara Bhadrapada or in Pushya or Anurada, automatically those nakshatra energies will play out, and whichever is the next nakshatra ruled by Mercury, that dasha will play out, because after the nakshatra of Saturn, the next nakshatra which follows is that of Mercury. And the antardasha energies will be obviously the similar pattern, because the nakshatra energies are followed in a certain pattern. So if you are born in the sign, in the dasha of Saturn, then say for example in the first pada itself, then you will, or in the initial part for example, so the first dasha have a curtailed period. If you are born in the dasha of Mercury, you may not always get the 17 years. You may get 15 years, or you may get 13 years, you may get 10 years or even lesser. But the second dasha which follows after the first dasha, it will always complete the entire years. So for example, if you are born in the dasha of Saturn first and the second dasha which follows is Mercury, then you get the entire 17 years. Then the first dasha that of antardasha of Mercury will be, so the dasha antardasha pattern will be Mercury, so Mercury dasha, Mercury antardasha, then the next antardasha will be of Mercury and Ketu, then the next dasha will be Mercury and Venus, then the next dasha will be Mercury and Sun, then the next dasha will be Mercury and Moon, then Mercury and Mars, then Mercury and Rahu, then Mercury and Jupiter, then Mercury and Saturn. Then after that, once Mercury and Saturn finishes, the 9 antardashas are finished, then you step into the dasha of Ketu, and so then the first dasha will be Ketu, and the antardasha will be Ketu, and so on. Thus, what is the first dasha and which is the first antardasha will depend on what specific degrees moon lies in the nakshatra, what is the remaining time period which is left in the in the particular dasha, and the second dasha always you get the full time period. So whenever you are in a certain dasha, it's important for you to understand what are the antardasha energies which are playing out basis the nakshatra, the dasha and the antardasha. So keep in mind, whichever dasha you are born in, keep in mind what was the nakshatra lord and which was the nakshatra you are born. After that, whichever dasha comes will follow the nakshatra energy. So those nakshatra energies are playing or will be playing the part. So if you are born with moon in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, Saturn dasha is on, so Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra energies will be more. After that, when Mercury dasha comes into play, Revati nakshatra energies will be more in play than Jyeshtha energies which also Mercury rules. So keep this in mind based on your horoscope, which nakshatra your moon lies in at the time of your birth, and those nakshatra energies play their part. And so this is the relationship between the dasha and the antardasha and the nakshatra energies and the nakshatra specific padas, what energies the padas rule and what will be the effect on one's life. Now the other relation is based on what house moon is placed in and what houses those particular planets rule, whose antardasha is on and whose energies the particular nakshatra is ruling in your horoscope. Based on that, those results will come to the fore, and obviously the planets which are placed in the specific nakshatra, or if there are any doshas, or they're in yoga, they will also play their part. But the nakshatra energies will play their part. The pada energies ruled by specific planets will play their part. And so the antardasha, the dasha antardasha and the nakshatra energies together will give you results, and you will be able to see that those results will come out in the results that you face in your life. So if you're born with moon in the nakshatra of Mrigashira ruled by Mars dasha will be the first dasha, but Mrigashira lies both in Taurus and Gemini, 2 padas each. So both the Taurus energies and the Gemini energies will also play their part, apart from the 4 padas of Mrigashira, starting with Leo, Virgo, Libra and Scorpio. Those energies will also play their part in the dasha of Mars. So keep this in mind, and keep in mind which energy is active at what period of the time, based on the dasha period divided into 4 parts, or any dasha divided into 4 parts, and the 4 pada energies will play their part. So friends, look into your own horoscopes, which specific dasha you are in, what energies are ruling you, what nakshatra energies are ruling you, what specific pada energies you are right now on, and you will find that some effect or more effect will play out basis those energies in your dasha period in your life at that point of time. Of course, keeping in mind the house energies and the doshas and the yogas and the planets in the nakshatra as well. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.